We are the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association.
We are the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association.
Business in Pennsylvania.
And business in Pennsylvania is our business.
Governor, the vote is on November 4th. No matter who wins, I'm concerned about the next term, whether it's your second term or someone else's first term. I'm concerned about working with the state legislature. You've had difficulties working with this legislature. Do you have any concerns about working with?
Let me argue with you a little bit on that, Brad, because
we've had this back and forth before.
On some issues, we have not gotten along, but they're the big issues. We have gotten a lot done in Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
A lot of great legislation done. And people kind of focus on the negative and they don't look at the positive. And frankly, the positive far outweighs the negative. What are the two issues that we've had difficulty? Pensions. Everybody has a vested interest in that. Even I have a vested interest, but I say, hey, look, put me over into a 401k, be happy to do it. Okay? And number two, liquor. And in liquor, we've gone further than any governor in Pennsylvania has been able to go since Prohibition was passed and the repeal of Prohibition was passed. First one to get a bill out of the House, over to the Senate, out of committee, on the floor of the Senate. We're close. Whether we get it done or not right now, if we don't get it done, I know one thing. When I come back, we're going to go for it again. If I don't come back, the people of Pennsylvania are not going to have the convenience and the choice that every other state except Utah has. And that's a clear issue for them when they go into the polling place on November the 4th. But those are the two issues. And some of it has been, I'm not like Ed Rendell. Okay, there's nobody would ever compare us as politicians the same way. I mean, I tell you what I'm going to do, and I do it. And what some people are upset is, I really told them what I was going to do and did it. I kept the promise, and I can say that.
So no concerns about working with the legislature, particularly what seems to be a fragmented House in a second term?
Well, it's a spectrum in the House. Any party in the Republican Party that has Darrell Metcalfe at one end and Gene DiGirolamo at the other end, for those of you who are commentators and see this on a regular basis as compared to the citizen who really only looks at their representative, understands that that's a broad spectrum. There's a pretty broad spectrum on the Democrat side too, but they've refused to put up many votes except in a few instances. Transportation. If we were that restricted that we couldn't get along, we would have never gotten transportation done. We would have never gotten the manufacturer's resource tax credit done. We would have never gotten unemployment compensation reform done. But those were big issues also that we got done. But it's just two issues. And I remind everybody, only in the last week of the campaign, 4 years ago, did I campaign on liquor reform, and I never campaigned on pension reform. But it's a reality. It is sitting right there. It's the 10,000-ton elephant, donkey, gorilla, whatever you want to call it, in the middle of everybody's budget.